This morning, we want to look at a few stories that are making their rounds. And cocoa industry, over 500 hectares of farmlands destroyed by swollen shoot disease. I actually saw the swollen shoot headlines over last week. Actually, on some papers were carrying it as well. Anti-LGBT bill, Parliament approves 3 to 5 year jail term for willful promotion of act. And we're also going to talk about attacks on journalists as well. But let me just get right into it by reading as the first story. Now, Ghana loses over 500 hectares of cocoa farms due to swollen shoot disease. Now, the story here goes, the Chief Executive Officer of Ghana Cocoa Board, Joseph Boahin Edu, has revealed that over 500 hectares of cocoa farms in Ghana have been lost to the cocoa swollen shoot viral disease, posing a major threat to the country's cocoa production. Now, while recognizing the gravity of the challenge, Mr. Edu also offered some assurances indicating that measures have been put in place and continue to be implemented to address the issue. Now, Mr. Edu made this disclosure during a panel discussion at a partnership meeting of the World Cocoa Foundation in Amsterdam, where he shed light on the multifaceted challenges confronting cocoa production in Ghana. Now, in addition to CSSVD, Mr. Edu highlighted the detrimental impacts of illegal mining and climate change, which further exacerbated the decline in cocoa productivity and pose a great threat to the livelihoods of cocoa farmers. And let me just jump a couple of paragraphs and go down and say that the rehabilitation program involves identifying diseased farms, cutting down affected trees, replanting with disease-resistant cocoa varieties, compensating affected farmers, and promoting good agricultural practices. And so the story goes on, and you can go and read the story on citinewsroom.com. Let me just come to Jeffrey and pick your mind on this story.
Yeah, it's rather sad because, cocoa earns our country a lot, until the influx of the oil economy. It was cocoa and gold that were holding us, And I mean, with the natural one that you can always count on. I mean, if you have to go for gold, you need to dig with luck. At the time, I was even wondering, because in these times, the geo machines can tell you from your exploration and see, look, you can just do some one or two, and then get with machines to detect that, look, hey, there's some gold here. But I wonder how our forefathers were able to determine that this side had gold without those machines. But, we've been here with cocoa. Large farms, and for me personally, I benefited from the Cocoa Board scholarship. So cocoa took me to school and actually gave me secondary education. So I should be proud of such a help that I got from the Cocoa Board. But to be very, very frank with you, I think we are giving poor attention to cocoa. I think I'm thinking that, look, we are giving more attention to the other extractives, because of course, with the onslaught of this oil economy, I think our focus is going elsewhere. Look at the I won't say the noise, but the joy we receive, the lithium. How have we maintained that joy around cocoa and coffee and the rest? Have we maintained that such? But that's the pride of our nation. You should even have something large like cocoa seated at the airport. I would even name it the Cocoa Airport. Something,
Okay.
Because that's what we are known for. For our gold and cocoa. But this morning, I think the chemical presence too is very poor. We've heard of smuggling here and there, where people have taken the chemicals that were supposed to go and spray the farms. People are smuggling it out. And so when a disease like this comes out, it's a natural thing. But what that's the start of it is a natural cause. Actually, these are diseases. They can also have maybe the weather conditions can help them to multiply. So prevailing conditions can actually help them to multiply. We're in a system where right now climate change is making things go the other way around. you didn't expect anything Harmattan in January,
Not at
February.
this time.
But you know, so if climate has actually helped them to multiply, somebody must come out with a scientific explanation for us. But what we know is that it's a natural cause. We had a control system for it. Naturally, I think we have this spraying. Swollen shoot is not a new disease.
Yeah.
You know, so it's something that we've been managing over the years, and we know how to manage them. So what can you say? You can say about the skills. You know, I think adequate support was not there for them. I'm also thinking, look, it could, you know, one thing about diseases is that you could have, let's say, for example, the chemicals distributed. But if you over-apply it, you also kill the plant.
Yeah.
So what is really the problem?
Yeah.
It could be that maybe, yes, there's been an attack. But when they spray,
Yeah.
you get your firm grips on the farm again,
Yeah.
and then you kill off the disease.
Yeah.
But if you do not apply the chemical well, even though the disease was there, the disease might not be the cause for which the plant actually died.
Yeah.
Maybe the over application. Some of the people, if they get frustrated, they might think that maybe instead of 1 bucket, let's do 5 buckets so that we can kill the disease.
I think specifically to the issue of swollen shoots. So
Right.
the cocoa gets attacked by different diseases,
Right.
as do all plants. But,
Yeah, Kati and the rest.
Yeah, but with the swollen shoot, the mechanism for treatment is actually to cut down the infected ones and,
Right.
and replant non-infected varieties.
Okay.
Right. So for me, I think it's more this having 500,000.
Right.
That's more about either the knowledge gap,
Right.
people not knowing what to do in terms of we see this is happening to this plants here. If you don't cut it down, it will spread. Right. So extension officers,
Right.
the people who are helping the farmers, you know, to deal with the issues, the challenge, and so on. Are we up to scratch when it comes to our extension officers, equipping them, financing them, letting them be out there
To
in the
reach every
farms,
farm.
you know, in good time,
Right.
so that they can help with what's happening on the ground? Because we shouldn't get up to 500,000.
Well, it should also tell you
That's
that
a lot of
that's a
cocoa
lot.
trees.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
You know?
And I don't know if you saw a document that was circulating about Ghanaian firms wanting to purchase cocoa from outside. There was a document
Yeah,
that
that's
circulated.
last week, yeah.
So it means like I think they noticed that, look, we're going to short in supplying our customers. So we needed to actually come and replace. I think this will explain a little bit of their action of trying to import some of the cocoa. But like we rightly said, it could be a knowledge gap. It could be even the difficulty of complying. You know, I mean, for somebody to have lots of trees and then about, let's say, 1,000 or 500 of them being attacked by one farmer, seeing 1,000 of his trees attacked by the swollen shoot. I mean, having to cut them down, you know, cutting them down is another labor altogether.
Yeah, it is.
You know, so they can be distressed. I mean, you know, it can be heartbreaking. And then at that point, misinformation can also step in.
Of course.
So somebody comes and say, look, I have this particular chemical that can, you know.
It will take care
and
of
so
it.
they will try it. And then, like you said, if you are adequately informed, you can know that, look, there's no way out. Safer the best. You have 2,000 trees. You have to actually cut down about 300 or 400 to make sure that, look, you can safeguard the rest of 1,700. But it takes a bold heart to do that. Because once you are hearing somebody tell you, look, you can do this and manage it that way, you might be tempted to go. And like you also said, look, somebody might know this one and then might also be playing the foul, or somebody might not know at all that, look, hey, it's swollen shoot, yes, I have to cut it down, but there's chemical here. I can use this chemical, and then a double loss to the game. So I mean, I'm thinking that, look, we need to set up. We should give it a good attention. It needs just good attention. We should get extension officers who are there, not to only supervise, but we should get labor. It's a mass activity. If the people in America and the rest, when there's a flu, that those influencers, they attack the birds, the government people, they move in. And they have to destroy the birds, actually. So we should have some support that, look, if it's a farmer and he actually has to go and pay for labor, and some of them, at the point they are planting, what they have is what they invest. At the point they are pruning and also spraying, that's another investment they do. So they are already cash strapped. So at that point, they have to go and pay somebody to come and cut it off.
I think
it won't be easy.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, I think that there has to be a system, and I don't know if it exists, but there has to be a system where cocoa farmers can blow the alarm and
Right.
say, I've seen 5 or 6 of my trees on the farm. This swollen shoot thing seems to have resurfaced, you know.
Yeah.
And then immediately,
There's a response
Cocoa
team,
Board, the entire cocoa infrastructure is activated because you can't afford for your number to lose more trees, right?
Right.
I mean, back in the day, I think it was during Mills's time, we hit about a million tons, you know, of cocoa. In a particular year, but we are doing woefully. I mean, we are just above 500,000.
And most of the farmers are, because of, you see, this is a very distressing point. So when they see this one, the next moment somebody comes, look, sell this farm to me.
Why wouldn't they?
We should be careful because it's around this time that they are very distressed. If we don't go to their aid to give them some support, some incentive, you know, like, you know, government to go in all out and say, look, okay, all you need to do right now is to sit back. We're clearing the side of the land. Even though there are some that looks like they are not too serious, we'll still clear everything else, and then we'll come and give you seedlings. We'll come here and then give you improved irrigation, you know, a very mechanized one, just to jump the person in again. Because if the person is distressed at that point, there may be some stubborn ones who say, look, I won't sell my land for any gold person to come and dig gold on my land. I won't do it. But if it gets to this situation, they become very vulnerable. So you open them up for some of these offers that are already better than, you know, maybe they see when it comes to farming.
All right.